Brain Gain is sponsored by Farmers National Bank and the Mahoning Valley Manufacturers Coalition.
This print job consists of 1,396 layers. We're currently on layer 917. I'm technically a 3D cleaner here at Humtown. I was seeking employment here not long ago, approximately a year and 4 months back, and realized that there was 3D technology going on right here in my backyard, essentially, where I grew up, and pretty excited for the fact that they had something like that going on here locally. So there are two gantries running left to right in here. The gantry to the right is the print head gantry. This one here is your recoder. And what the recoder is currently doing is laying a very thin layer of sand across the print table, and does that layer by layer. Once that layer of sand is laid, the print head comes across and strategically sprays the binder chemical onto the sand, which already contains activator to allow for that sand to be fused together. I hadn't ever personally printed with sand. In fact, I didn't know they were doing it when I first started the job. So that was kind of exciting too, to see something different. I've heard of metal printing, and of course at home as a hobby I print with plastic, but to use sand is a whole nother level. We're adding new printers almost every other day, it seems. When I started we had 4 printers. We're up to right at 14 now already. Now that we've got additional printers, this one here for instance, I noticed today it's got power on. It's not operational just yet. It's still being assembled, but pretty exciting to see another printer coming to life. Unlike a lot of jobs, because we're 3D printing, these printers run around the clock. So that requires a crew of people willing to work around the clock. We currently run 4 6-hour shifts. I'm on the second shift, or B shift we call it. Of your fluid levels, that's showing the amount of sand currently in your recoder. But this being your activator, again, that is what gets mixed into the sand prior to having the sand spread across the print table. Cleaner, pretty self-explanatory. We've got hoppers stacked up on each of the printers. Generally speaking, they're going to have 4 hoppers per printer. This one's only got 2 because we only run 1 sand system on the printer. You can see the sand supply systems on top of the printer right here. It works off of vacuum pressure. Each printer has an air supply line to it. I believe 120 psi. This is part of our sand supply. Each one of them bags weighs approximately 3,200 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. 3,200 or 3,400 pounds. Almost always, without a doubt, we have parts ready to come out of the printers too. So this is the actual print box. So if you can imagine this table here lowered essentially right down to the bottom of this box, that's the print area we have to work with. As the parts are printed, there's loose sand around the formed parts. So we use the vacuum, such as this here, to extract and remove the loose sand from around the pieces. A little bit of preparation going into getting the printer turned around. We do a routine cleaning between jobs and set the printer up for the next job to be loaded. This is one of the ways we remove some of the sand off the parts as we're extracting them through use of air nozzles. So it's not all just vacuum. You tend to find different parts printed on a daily basis. Some big, some small. Just trying to kind of get in the routine isn't really possible here. It is, but at the same time it's unique because of different size parts and different things we print. We don't just print with sand either. We use several different medias. Some recipes call for different additives mixed in with the sand. We use ceramics. So there again, everything's almost constantly changing. Call this the production room. This is where we take the parts to after they've been extracted from the printers. They'll get checked over for quality assurance purposes and things of that nature. And get them nice and clean, free of any sand that's not supposed to be on them for the customer. It's almost challenging to look at the pieces and try to determine what they are. Sometimes I'll even joke about what I think they might be. These are automobile parts. These look almost to be some form of valve covers, perhaps. These are feet off of an AT-AT. I've been electronic field virtually all my life. Worked as an electronic field technician for just over 20 years out of the Air Force. And I've been trying to follow the electronic field as much as possible. This is kind of one and the same in many aspects. I get to work with the 3D technology. Hopefully one day I'll be able to help repair the 3D printers as well. Working with Team Humtown, great teamwork, great people to work for and with. Mark's made it nothing but exciting, him and Brandon both, since I've been here. Truly a unique opportunity. I've worked several handful of jobs throughout my days and time, and this is by far one of the more exciting.
Brain Gain is sponsored by Farmers National Bank and the Mahoning Valley Manufacturers Coalition.